Yaris. So that's what we're doing today. A few videos ago, I was talking about how poor the interior of the Yaris is and how poor the head unit especially is. And because of that video, a company called idoing reached out to me well, they said, hey, we've got a head unit, we think you should try it, see what it's like, and give us your actual feedback on it. So the interesting thing is, this head unit is actually made for the Toyota Vios in America, which I guess is like their version of the Yaris. That was a bit different for the install side. I'll go over that in just a bit. But overall, I don't know if there's been a modification that's updated the whole feel of the car more than what this has. Honestly, I feel like bang for buck, this is something that even if you plan on keeping the car pretty much stock, you should do this no matter what. If you're looking at even considering the idea of upgrading your head unit for your Yaris, you don't need to watch the whole video to be able to decide to do it, because you definitely should, because the actual update that it makes to the interior of the car, it just makes it feel so much more modern. And to be honest, hands down, I think overall, it has made the biggest difference just to daily driving. It's just changed the whole inside of the car for me, and honestly, it makes me want to drive the car more. This all of a sudden means that you feel like you're in a car from 2024, not from the 90s. The quick main features as to why I actually wanted it. First of all, it's 9 inches, so it's obviously way bigger than the stock GR Yaris head unit. However, it actually doesn't take up too much extra space from the standard. So it's probably about ½ an inch on top, and then not even just a few mil on either side. So it also doesn't make the tablet or anything look far too big for the space. It also doesn't even really make the letterbox size that all GR Yaris owners know of much smaller up through here. So that's first of all a good pro. Also, it does maintain the standard reverse camera. You do have to pay a little bit extra for that, but obviously completely worth it. You get full CarPlay Link 2.0, which means to run wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you don't even need a dongle. So of course that replaces the wired CarPlay that you used to have to run before that. So pretty much as soon as you turn your car on, as soon as you've connected your phone the first time, it automatically links straight to this. And I've found that the connection from the phone to the new head unit is so much quicker than from like the phone to the quad lock or even direct CarPlay. It's probably about 5-6 seconds. So we'll first actually go through how to disassemble the OEM head unit, because this is something that surprisingly isn't really on YouTube much, or at least there's nothing in English on how to actually do it. So pretty much with the stock head unit, the first thing you take off is the little plastic cover that's going around the hazards button and all the way around the edges. You simply get like a little pry tool, pick behind it, you'll be able to pull it off, a few clips holding it in. Once that's done, you actually need to take out the air vents underneath. Again, get your little pry tool, be careful just in the little gaps, and once you start clicking away at that, you'll find the whole piece will actually come out. Once you've done that, there's 4 screws holding the actual head unit in, along with a few clips. So you'll find 2 almost diagonally facing up that you'll find, and then there's 2 straight forward you'll be able to see when you just quickly look down below. Once those have been removed, pretty much there's a few clips and you're able to pull the whole head unit out. From there, obviously you're going to detach the actual cables running to the back of the head unit. Once you've done that, you'll be able to lift the whole thing out. Now, before you start that, I will say make sure you do this. Once you've taken the head unit out, you actually can't make changes to the factory Toyota settings in the menu, because obviously you've taken out the whole head unit, you've taken out the computer, I guess you could say, with it. So, for example, if you want to change how wide the backup camera is, do that on your standard settings on the standard head unit before you remove it. If you want to change anything else about the Yaris that you can only do from the OEM head unit, do it before you remove the head unit. That brings another point. The cool thing is as well, you do keep all of your functionality from your steering wheel, so all the controls on the steering wheel work perfectly on the actual head unit as well. And also it does retain JBL audio, so that's just again another positive for it. Right, once you've removed the whole system, obviously we're going to put the new one in. There's a few cables you have to sort of get right, but there's no soldering that's needed. It's all sort of plug and play. It's just about putting it in the right way. It's about 5 or 6 plugs you just have to put over. The guide's pretty clear on the paper of where to put things. To get the reverse camera, which is a separate little attachment, pretty much there's a yellow plug on one of the harnesses, you plug that in, and then you attach it to a different area on the back of the actual new head unit. Now, when you were removing the OEM head unit, there were 4 screws you had to take out to get it out because they're holding to the brackets. Obviously, as that's all out and this head unit is a full one piece, you're no longer going to be using the screws. There are clips on the top that will clip in perfectly, but I did find I actually had to do some cutting, just a little bit of cutting, to get rid of some of the clips that would obviously fit for the Toyota Vios in America, but don't fit on the Yaris. And you'll actually be able to see just a little bit of glue down this side, and if we get closer underneath here and on this side to keep it in. So pretty much the biggest issue I found was that the clips are too long for the actual Yaris, so pushing it in, it does leave a bit of a gap on the bottom. Now, as it's clipped on the top, they clip in perfectly fine. It was never going to fall out, but I don't want it moving around at all, and especially when you put your foot down in this car, you do find most things go flying backwards towards the back seat. So the last thing you want is your lovely brand new head unit doing the same. I've used some high temp hot glue that's just gone under here. Obviously soon I'll get a black sealant that'll just literally cover up the whole thing. You could even do the glue and then perhaps spray paint it black. Now we'll actually start it up and turn it on, and we'll show you guys what you're looking at. As I said, I'll leave a link down below to the actual website where you can purchase it from, and if you're one of the people that need to know every single tiny little technical thing of it, you can obviously read that and then make the decision from there. But we'll go through the main setup and how it all works. So pretty much if we turn the car to accessory, obviously we'll get the startup animation, and as the left door is open, a cool thing about this head unit is it'll also tell us when doors are open, or if you don't lock the car, that kind of stuff. So you can see the quick verification connection. That's how fast it is to connect to Apple CarPlay from my phone. So that was, what, 10 seconds thereabouts. But anyway, on the left hand side we have our physical buttons that we can use. So we've got volume up and down, we've got a back button, a home button, and a power button. So if we go to the actual home page, this is the actual native home screen of this head unit. So really, really responsive. If we go apps, you can see just how responsive it actually is. It even has its own inbuilt music player. Obviously this is sort of an Android setup. And yeah, everything's super responsive. You can do YouTube, you've got a Play Store, so yes, you can download all different types of apps, including Netflix and all that, and you could watch it on here if that's really what you want to do. There is also some car settings that I haven't really gone into, to be honest, that much, and it's not really something I'm going to be using. I mean, yeah, there's heaps of different stuff you can do in the back end, but if I'm honest, that's not really what I'm using this for. So anyway, we'll go back to the home screen. So it does have inbuilt radio as well, so if you still want to listen to AM, FM, whatever, you can do that. You've got it all here. Obviously you can sort of scroll and find your channel that way. That all works perfectly well. But the main thing that I want to use it for is for Apple and Android Auto. That's what I have it on 100% of the time, pretty much driving. To get there, you go apps, and CarLink 2.0 is the game changer. So this allows you to run wirelessly completely from your phone straight to CarPlay, simply by pressing CarPlay on here. You can see just how quickly it connects. So it's about 10 seconds, and just like that, we're into CarPlay. You can just see it's pretty responsive. There is a tiny bit of lag, but you have to understand as well, it's running a wireless signal now, considering that this was completely wired before. And obviously everything works as it should. As you can see, I've got like my music if I really wanted to go to. I can do my calls, I can do maps as well, which is super big and super responsive. The screen is also super bright, so it means that when you're driving at night especially, you can actually see where you're going, and the map actually becomes super useful. So with CarPlay and Android Auto, you can't really go wrong. If we go back to the right and then we press the back button, now we're back on this home menu that obviously is native to the thing. Obviously there's plenty of different things to play around with, but the next biggest important thing is the backup camera. So once we've added that in, obviously we get access to the OEM backup camera. Now again, for those of you who have a Yaris, you'll know how small the actual backup camera in the OEM head unit was. So just to show you guys that it works, if I chuck the car into reverse, obviously you see how big it is, and it now takes up the whole screen. So as I said, now you don't actually have the ability to change the settings as we would normally, but this is why I said make those changes before you put the head unit in, because then you'll be left with the one you want. I personally like the smaller one. It's less distorted, and obviously it gives me a clearer picture. But again, having a bigger reversing camera, it's now made such a difference just for the whole driving experience as well. So that's the main things. It has CarPlay that works perfectly. It does maintain the JBL audio, so you're not going to get a shitty speaker experience. You don't install anything extra for that. It's all part of it. And honestly, if you're looking to buy one, go down, press the link down below. Even if you leave a comment in the actual order form, say Lewis sent me here, that would mean a hell of a lot to me. But yeah, honestly, really loving this thing so far. It's been epic. I haven't had any issues with it at all. It all runs, you know, smoothly, perfectly. I'm going to go back into CarLink again, and you'll just see again how quickly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd probably see 10 seconds to connect wirelessly to your phone is insane. And overall, I'm just super happy. And obviously with the home screen that's possible, and with the apps you can download, you can practically do absolutely everything from this. So yeah, as I said before, if you want to watch Netflix, if you want to download Angry Birds or whatever, you can. So overall, massive improvement. Really enjoying this. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, which of course will be super exciting, and it's all to do with the gear shifter. It actually turned up just yesterday. Yeah, you guys will see that in the next video. It might be 2 weeks away because there's another video coming next week on the brand new Hyundai Santa Fe. And yeah, can't wait to show you guys that as well. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a comment on this as well if it's something you'd be interested in buying. But yeah, overall massive difference. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.